Good morning. Welcome to the Bell and Pollock Legal Show. We are injury attorneys. As you know, this show covers injury subjects. We do other shows during the weekend that don't cover injury subjects, but this one's an injury subject. We do it every week. Gary Bell, Brad Pollock, our law firm is Bell and Pollock. We're conveniently located basically I-25 in Orchard. We have an office in Steamboat Springs. And by the way, I know you know this if you listen to these shows all the time, but if you're new, we do car accident cases. We do big ones, medium, small ones. We do them all over the state of Colorado. We do workers' comp cases. We do truck accident cases. And if you've ever been involved in a truck accident, you're going to realize right away you need help, but you're going to realize right away this is a different breed of animal. It's not an ordinary accident. It's not an ordinary day for you. There are thousands of rules and regulations pertaining to truck accidents. You better have somebody on your side who knows the rules, who knows what to do, who knows how to do discovery, and knows the rules under the FMCSR. That stands for Federal Motor Carrier Safety Rules and Regulations. Also, we do car accident cases all over. We got an office in Steamboat Springs. The telephone number up there is 970-870-8989. Or anytime you can go to our website, championsofthepeople.com. Our feature that is most popular on our website is called Meeting by Accident. If you click on Meeting by Accident, you'll get answers to the most commonly asked questions people ask when they're involved in a car accident or truck accident. And so you can get the initial answers right there. Just go to our website, championsofthepeople.com. Our telephone number, 303-795-5900. Our website, championsofthepeople.com. Okay, today, as you know, we've been talking about this Avextis situation. We've been talking about the fact that you go to the emergency room or you go to the hospital. You've been injured in an accident, a car accident. Let's take that example. And you give them your health insurance card. You pay premiums. You've got a health insurance card. You know this is going to protect you because you wanted peace of mind. And what's the first thing they've asked you for years when you've gone to the hospital? For your health insurance card. But now, something different. Now, you go to the hospital and we know of instances where the people say, well, here's my health insurance card. And they say, no, we don't need that. We don't want that. And what happens is they give you a brochure from Avextis, A-V-E-C-T-U-S, Avextis, and they say, fill this out. Well, I mean, do you know Avextis? How does Avextis come in your life? And Brad, we covered this a little bit last week, but I want to cover it again so it leads into our other subject we covered today. But this company you've never heard of, and all of a sudden you're given their forms to sign papers.
Well, even if they give you, or even if they take your health insurance card, they also give you this brochure. And actually, Gary, as much as a brochure, it's a questionnaire. They give you a questionnaire and they give you forms to fill out for Avextis. And they do that the minute they find out that there's an accident or an injury that is a result of somebody else's potential negligence, because they're looking at third-party liability. And if the hospital has any question, these are the Centura hospitals primarily in Colorado that we're dealing with. I can't lump all the hospitals in. It's the Centura hospitals that are primarily. I can't say all of them. I don't know about some of them. So if it's not a Centura, I can't promise you they're not doing it. But I can promise you the Centura hospitals will then give you this Avextis form, this Avextis documents to fill out. And you're going to find yourself very sorry if you fill out those forms and give them back. It's not something you should do.
No, but people are asking the question, and you should be asking the question right now to us, yourself, right now. Why not? What difference does it make? I mean, come on. They say to us, I'm in the emergency room, they say this is going to help you get your medical bills paid. They say they have a whole team of a network of professionals, including legal assistants, paralegals, and attorneys that are going to help you get your medical bills paid. So what's the problem?
It's a backhanded way to avoid balance billing laws. It's a backhanded way to avoid the consumer protection laws that have been instituted by the state of Colorado and by our Division of Insurance. It's trying to avoid those laws and do what they call third-party liability recovery and avoid having to obey the law that they can't balance bill.
Right, so we're going to give you an example. Let's get an example to make this real clear to you, okay? So listen to this. You go to the emergency room. Let's say you have to go to the hospital. Let's say they check you in for a couple of days.
As a result of a car accident.
As a result of a car accident. This is not just illness or something like that, but it's a car accident. So they check you in. Let's say you're in the hospital for 3 days. Let's say you have shoulder surgery, and you're out of the hospital, and let's say your medical bills now are $120,000. Let's just use that example. $120,000.
That's the retail price of the medical bills. And if you think that's high, I got news for you. It probably isn't. You're going to be looking at somewhere around $120,000 for the retail charge.
Right, retail charge. So you feel comfortable because you've got your health insurance card, you gave it to them, and so here you go. So in the normal situation, your health insurance company, let's just make this up for an example, might pay the hospital, let's say $50,000 for the $120,000 retail bill.
Let's say that's Aetna Insurance Company.
Okay, let's say that's Aetna. Aetna pays them $50,000. You have an Aetna card. You do that. You give it to them, and you think your responsibilities are discharged because there's a contract between the hospital and Aetna that's what they're going to accept. So even though the retail value is $120,000, the Aetna pays them $50,000, and you go home and you don't get any bills. You don't get turned over to collection. And then you can recover from the third party. And when you recover from the third party,
the at-fault party, the party that caused the accident.
Right, the at-fault party, let's say you recover, Brad, and you don't have to pay back the $120,000. You have to pay back the $50,000, not the $120,000. And you have to pay back the $50,000, and sometimes that can be negotiated even down further.
But now, Aetna's going to have their subrogation claim, so that's what it is. It's a subrogation claim. They want to get paid back their $50,000.
Right. So now let's take the other example. Same numbers, same example, same car accident. You go to the hospital, you give them your Aetna card, and they say, we don't need that. Here, take this Avectis brochure, sign it up. This is better for you. This will help you get your medical bills paid. And they say, we help you. We gather information. We this, we that, we this, we that. Now, let's say what happens.
Well, what's going to happen now is they're going to say that $120,000, they want to collect that as much as they can from the at-fault party, so you cannot collect it. You don't get it. They want to take that $70,000 that they normally would have written off, the $50,000 additional money that they would have normally gotten paid by Aetna, and they want to try and get that $120,000 from the car insurance company of the at-fault party or from your car insurance company on your underinsured or uninsured motorist claim. So let's say the at-fault party had State Farm. Let's say you had USAA. They're going to come and they're going to try, first of all, they're going to go to State Farm and they're going to send a letter to them saying, we have a lien, we have a hospital lien, we have a right to get this money. So before you pay any money in settlement to the victim who's been hurt for any reason whatsoever.
And that victim is you.
That victim is you. You have to give us $120,000 because that's how much our hospital bill was. Now, if there's, let's say there's only $50,000 of coverage, but you're carrying a policy for $100,000 of uninsured motorists, then they're going to go to USAA and they're going to tell USAA, we have a claim for $120,000. We don't know how much is going to get paid by the at-fault party's insurance, but before you give any money to your own car insured, we want our $120,000. And Avectis is going to ignore the health insurance carrier. They're going to ignore Aetna, or what Avectis is going to do, they're going to collect as much as they can from Aetna and collect the balance from your car insurance companies.
So the bottom line, numbers-wise, let's boil it down. Boil it down because the law can sometimes be quite confusing. So you were injured by a third party, an at-fault party. So if you sign up these papers with Avectis at the hospital, because they don't take your health insurance card, but you've been paying premiums on that health insurance card. So the difference, the $120,000 retail value of the services that Aetna would normally pay $50,000 for in our example, the difference is $70,000. And normally that $70,000, because you use your health insurance card, would go to you. But when Avectis says you sign up the Avectis papers or these third-party papers, then they say they have a hospital lien. They inherit the hospital's lien, statutory lien, and they inherit it for the full amount. And so then they say, we own the statutory hospital lien. You have to pay. You, USAA, have to pay. You, the victim, have to pay. You, the at-fault party, have to pay. But what about the victim? That $70,000 would have gone to you, and you should have been able to use your health insurance card. Avectis is a company you never even heard of.
Now, I want you to think about something real quick. This also will involve at times other healthcare providers like the doctors, like the anesthesiologists, people like that who will also be involved in this. They may not get the lien, but they're also part of the Evectus attempts to collect the balance bill. I want you to think about this before we go to break. If the hospital is already negotiated with Aetna, and all the healthcare providers have already negotiated to Aetna that in the event this event occurs, they will take $50,000 from the health insurance company, then you know the hospital and the doctors and everybody else, all healthcare providers, have built in a profit margin into that $50,000. They've built in a profit margin. The extra $70,000 is pure cream. It's pure profit. It's pure extra money that they're playing with. They are billing, their bills are that high, folks. $120,000 normal bill that comes out of the hospital and out of the doctors, all the healthcare providers. If the health insurance company can really get it resolved under normal circumstances where there's no accident for $50,000, the hospitals are still going to make a profit off that $50,000. So this extra $70,000, it's like monopoly money. It's throwaway money that they're dealing with, that they give to Evectus to come after you to try and get the extra money.
So we got a break coming up, but after the break, we're going to tell you what you can do, what you specifically can do to avoid this situation, to protect yourself, protect your family if you've been injured in a car accident and you're showing up at the emergency room or the hospital, because there are things that you can do. You're listening to the Bell and Pollock Legal Show. I'm Gary Bell, along with Brad Pollock. Our law firm is Bell and Pollock. We are injury attorneys. You know, we are Colorado's premier injury law firm. We've been doing this radio show for years. We've been trying to teach you injury subjects to give you an equal level playing field with the insurance companies who fight to mitigate, reduce, or destroy your injury claim. You can call us anytime at 303-795-5900, 795-5900, or our website, championsofthepeople.com. And in the mountains, we have an office in Steamboat Springs. We do car accident cases and workers' comp cases all over the state of Colorado. We've done jury trials in the four corners of the state and in between. We've represented many clients and helped them put their lives back together again. As stated, we are Colorado's premier injury law firm, and we are your champions of the people.
Ready for an extraordinary lunch? As fast or as slow as you want it? With all fresh ingredients? Caitlin's Restaurant has it all. Express lunches that won't keep you waiting. Or if you prefer, lunch served in that old-fashioned homemade style. All made fresh on the spot. Whether it's a fresh-made sandwich with homemade chips, quesadilla loaded with cheddar or jack cheeses, or scratch-made soups, you'll find everything you love at Caitlin's. Caitlin's is located on Mississippi just east of Colorado Boulevard next to Bookies. How about green chili chicken stew? Think about a variety of fresh-made sandwiches or 11 different kinds of burgers made to order with 1/2 pound of the finest USDA choice lean ground beef. You might favor a homemade New Mexican recipe with carne adobada burritos, chicken enchiladas, carnitas burritos, served with hash brown special recipe beans, cheeses with guacamole, and your choice of homemade red or green chili sauces. For those who prefer the lighter side, there are fresh made salads and lighter fares, sure to delight. Try Caitlin's for lunch or breakfast on Mississippi just east of Colorado Boulevard next to Bookies. Call 303-798-6600. You'll love it every bite of the way.
You're on your way to the store, then boom, you're T-boned at 45 miles per hour. Instead of shopping, you're on your way to the ER. Then comes the doctor visits, prescriptions, therapy, diagnostics, ongoing treatment, and the limitations. You have range of motion problems. Then the ultimate insult. The insurance company makes you feel like the crash was your fault. You need a legal game plan. You want a legal game plan. At Bell & Pollock, we've used over 25 years of experience to develop a legal game plan just for you. Our game plan has injury rules, rules of treatment, rules of claims, insurance company rules, litigation rules, rules they use to beat you. Now you can have them and know them and use them to protect you and your family. Our Bell & Pollock legal game plan gives you the rules the insurance company doesn't want you to have, or know, or use. But guess what? We do. At Bell & Pollock, success is no accident. Find us at championsofthepeople.com. That's championsofthepeople.com. Get your free initial consult and your free legal game plan. We'll help you. Good morning. Welcome back to the Bell and Pollock Legal Show. Gary Bell, Brad Pollock. We are injury attorneys here to help you. You know, and by the way, as an aside, don't forget our Saturday morning show, which is a live call-in show. We do it as a public service to the public, and you can call us on any legal subject, even though we're injury attorneys. Saturday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. Got to get up. 7 o'clock in the morning. It's on the AM dial, 6:30 AM, KHOW. And we answer questions from any field. Doesn't matter. So we do it as a public service. Give us a try. Give us a call if you got a question that's a non-injury question or an injury question. Give us a call. We answer injury questions there as well. We do it for you, and we do it to give you a level playing field. Okay, today we're talking about this so-called a Vectis situation where you go to the emergency room, they don't want your health insurance card, which you've been paying premiums on probably for years. We don't need that. Here, take this brochure, and what's going to happen is you're going to get stuck with the extra $70,000 that we used in our example. You're going to get stuck with the retail value of the deal, and so there's things that you can do to protect yourself, and so the first one, Brad, is when you go to the hospital, just plain insist on them using your health insurance coverage, and don't sign these Vectis forms.
Right. Listen, when you go to the hospital, if it's an emergency, then the hospital has to take you, and your insurance company can't claim that the care was outside the network. Their insurance company has to accommodate that situation. If it's not an emergency, though, this is where you start getting in trouble. Because where you get in trouble is when you go to the hospital, and it even if you're in the emergency room, if it's not a, quote, emergency where you don't have time to deal with the health insurance, you need to hand them your health insurance. You need to tell them, this is my health insurance card. You need to be consistent throughout the rest of the time period of making sure. As a matter of fact, tell the person right there, say, put it on screen. I want in-network healthcare providers. That's what I want. And now, if they say there's a specialty that's needed and they have no in-network, they're only out-of-network, your insurance has to accommodate that. But absent that, just tell them I want insurance. Here's my card. I want people in-network taking care of me. I want to make sure your facility's in-network. If they say it's not, say, get me to a facility that's in-network. Get me to one. Go to an in-network facility. The laws require that a health insurance company has to have an adequate number of in-network health providers to care for the number of insureds it's got. So a big company like Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, those companies are going to have plenty of in-network providers in this area. Tell them you want an in-network provider, and when you start getting the bills, you make sure that it's properly priced and turned into your insurance company.
Right, and you get a document called an EOB, an explanation of benefits. But so do not start signing these Vectis forms when you go to the hospital, because they said, well, and you say, well, the hospital told me, the hospital said I fill these out. They didn't need my insurance card. Make them take your insurance card. Make them bill it. Now look at this. Look at this questionnaire you're going to fill out. The first question is, was your medical treatment related to an accident, injury, or caused by someone else? Why in the world would you have to answer that question? Who has been to the emergency room where you've been asked the question, were you in a car accident? Maybe that question. Yes, I was. But, was it caused by somebody else? Were they at fault? So some of these questionnaires you have to fill out, which you're not going to fill out. Explain the details of your accident. Who were the passengers? Who is the insurance company for the at-fault driver? Who's the insurance company for you? Who's your MedPay insurance company? Who are all the passengers and the drivers in the car? Who's the owner's name? Is the car owned by somebody else? And on and on.
Can you figure out how ridiculous that is? I want you to think about it. You go in hurt. You say you've got an injury. You say it was an accident and you slammed up against the window or you were hurt. And they start asking you who the passengers were. Really, doctor? You need to know who the passengers were when I'm sitting here with my broken arm or with my torn up face or the stitches I need? You need to know who the passengers were in my car? You need to know the insurance companies of the car insurance when I'm giving you my health insurance card? Hospital, here's my health insurance card. You're in the network. This is Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm covered. And they go, what car insurance did you have?
And who were your passengers? And who was your driver? And what's the license plate? And what's the adjuster's name? And my auto insurance company is.
That should be a hint to you. They don't plan on billing your health insurance. That's why you have it, folks. You have health insurance, and it's there for you to get health coverage regardless of how you got hurt or regardless of how your illness occurred.
One of their letters from Avecta says to the person, they say, was this medical treatment required because you were injured in an accident? And then they say, quote, if so, someone else may be responsible for the medical bill. Listen to that sentence. Someone else may be responsible for the medical bill. Well, what's the medical bill? Remember our example? Well, the medical bill they're talking about is $120,000, the retail value. So, somebody else may be responsible. But if you use your health insurance company, you only have to pay back the $50,000, not the $120,000. The $70,000 goes to you, not the hospital, and not Avecta.
And I'm telling you who is responsible for your medical bill. They're right. Somebody else not may be responsible for your medical bill. They are responsible for your medical bill. It's called your health insurance provider. And that's who should be taking care of it. Your health insurance company, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, one of those companies, not your car insurance. That's not the company that is liable directly to the hospital for your health insurance. The only way, for your medical bill, the only way they're going to get that is if you start opening up the doors for that. And they are giving you these documents to open up the doors, to gain knowledge, to get ready to spring into action on these type things, send letters that you don't even know about, send communications that you don't know about, take actions that you don't know about. They're getting ready to do it so they can get this pure profit, extra money that they've got that they want to add on to the bill.
Right. And, it's not only profit, it's over and above profit. It's profit on top of profit. It's money that should go to you, the victim. So here's a company that's coming in, you sign the forms, they take the money that should go to you so that somebody gets the retail value of this medical bill, our example, $120,000, and they take the money and you don't get the money because you're the victim. If you made a third-party claim, if you made a claim against the person that caused the accident, the at-fault party, and you used your health insurance company, you would have to pay back the $50,000 to your health insurance company and maybe even less because many times these health insurance companies work with you, the victim, and the attorneys. So you need to know what you're doing. Now, Brad, let's talk a second about what happens if you've already signed up these forms. You went into the hospital, they talked you out of using your health insurance card, which you should never let them do. That's what your health insurance card is for. They have a contract. They have to live up to the contract. So you insist on that. But let's say that you didn't. Let's say they hand you these forms. You filled out these forms. You send them in. Now you're getting letters from Avecta saying, we've got a lien, a hospital lien. You have to pay us. You have to do this. And then they send the letters to all the insurance companies. And then they because they want to get their money first. But what can you do to reverse this or mitigate against it or help once you've signed this up?
Well, the first thing you should do is get to an attorney who knows that this isn't appropriate. Some attorneys may not. Some attorneys may not understand this. Some attorneys may think, well, that sounds right. That sounds like something that can be done. You need to get to an attorney who knows better, who knows that that's not appropriate. Once you get to that attorney can start doing things to reverse it. If you don't want to go to an attorney, then what you've got to do is you've got to be ever vigilant in making sure that every bill is being submitted to your health insurance company and making sure that at every turn you can, you're telling Avecta that you don't agree to, you will not agree to balance billing, you don't agree to them contacting your car insurance companies, they should not be contacting them, and you should be staying on top of it. You've got to be on top of it.
So, you can write letters back to them. You can write demands back to them. If you've already signed these forms, you can write demands back that say, did you submit any of my bills to my health insurance company? Here is the health insurance information. Here's my claim number. Here's my card. Here's my number. Here's my membership number. Here's my claim number and my card. Did you submit any bills? Why haven't you submitted my bills to the health insurance company? Explain that. Which bills have you submitted and which bills have you not submitted to my health insurance company and why? And by the way, I don't want your services. I don't want you to do this. You're going after the retail value of these bills, which everybody knows that's a profit on top of a profit on top of a profit. And everybody knows that money should go to the victim. And so start asking the questions and sending them letters. Now, we got a break coming up. And after the break, we're going to give you a couple more hints on what to do if you've already signed up for and sign these papers for Avecta. I've had one person tell me they started sitting down to fill out these forms for Avecta and something didn't feel right, didn't seem right, and they refused to do it. And they almost did it. All right, so You're listening to the Bell and Pollock Legal Show. Gary Bell, Brad Pollock. We are injury attorneys. We do car accident cases, big ones, medium, and small ones, all over the state of Colorado. We do workers' compensation cases. We're glad to talk to you. You can call us anytime at 303-795-5900. In the mountains, you can call us at 970-870-8989. I'm sorry, 970-870-8989. We are Colorado's premier injury law firm, and we are your champions of the people.
Ready for an extraordinary lunch? As fast or as slow as you want it? With all fresh ingredients? Caitlin's Restaurant has it all. Express lunches that won't keep you waiting. Or if you prefer, lunch served in that old-fashioned homemade style. All made fresh on the spot. Whether it's a fresh-made sandwich with homemade chips, quesadilla loaded with cheddar or jack cheeses, or scratch-made soups, you'll find everything you love at Caitlin's. Caitlin's is located on Mississippi just east of Colorado Boulevard next to Bookies. How about green chili chicken stew? Think about a variety of fresh-made sandwiches or 11 different kinds of burgers made to order with 1/2 pound of the finest USDA choice lean ground beef. You might favor a homemade New Mexican recipe with carne adobada burritos, chicken enchiladas, carnitas burritos, served with hash browns, special recipe beans, cheeses with guacamole, and your choice of homemade red or green chili sauces. For those who prefer the lighter side, there are fresh made salads and lighter fares, sure to delight. Try Caitlin's for lunch or breakfast on Mississippi, just east of Colorado Boulevard next to Bookies. Call 303-798-6600. You'll love it every bite of the way.
You're on your way to the store, then boom, you're T-boned at 45 miles per hour. Instead of shopping, you're on your way to the ER. Then comes the doctor visits, prescriptions, therapy, diagnostics, ongoing treatment, and the limitations. You have range of motion problems. Then the ultimate insult. The insurance company makes you feel like the crash was your fault. You need a legal game plan. You want a legal game plan. At Bell & Pollock, we've used over 25 years of experience to develop a legal game plan just for you. Our game plan has injury rules, rules of treatment, rules of claims, insurance company rules, litigation rules, rules they use to beat you. Now you can have them and know them and use them to protect you and your family. Our Bell & Pollock legal game plan gives you the rules the insurance company doesn't want you to have, or know, or use. But guess what? We do. At Bell & Pollock, success is no accident. Find us at championsofthepeople.com. That's championsofthepeople.com. Get your free initial consult and your free legal game plan. We'll help you. Good morning. Welcome back to the Bell and Pollock Legal Show. Gary Bell, Brad Pollock. We're here for you. We are injury attorneys ready to help you. Don't forget our Saturday morning live call-in show, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's on the AM dial, 6:30 AM KHOW, 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, as a wrap-up here, we've been talking about this Avexis situation. Let's assume for a second you've already signed up the papers. Let's assume you're getting these letters say, we've got a hospital lien from Avexis. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can do this. You should do this. Brad, any other relief these people have, and you're going to need an attorney, but what can we do? Well,
you can try to revoke it. Now, I'm going to tell you that normally the attorneys for Avexis and the people in Avexis will say you can't do it. And the reason they say you can't do it is they've already got the information. They're already sending out their forms. They're already dealing direct. They could care less about you. They don't care about you. They're just going directly to the different sources to get the money. But you need to call or write every single one of those sources and say you do not agree. Avexis is not entitled to recovery. You will not agree with Avexis having recovery. It's not legal. They cannot balance bill. They are not allowed to balance bill. And you need to, at that point, get your health insurance company really involved. And there are certain ways that you can argue that there should be subrogation, or there should be the protections that should be given by your own health insurance company to stop this from happening.
It becomes more complicated, so you can call us anytime. You know, we give a free initial consultation. We give you a free legal game plan modified for you, your case. Put our years of experience to work for you. Bell and Pollock, injury attorneys, conveniently located I-25 in Orchard, Greenwood Village. We do cases all over the state of Colorado. 303-795-5900. Our website, championsofthepeople.com. We are Colorado's premier injury law firm, and we are your champions of the people.